see dead people. No, but this video is not sponsored by, but I will sponsor by it because I'm helping marketing in it. Towards Galaxy's End. Do you like vampires? Do you like magical girls? Do you like outer space? Then you will like Towards Galaxy's End.
You will like it.
No, but seriously, Towards the Galaxy's End is a indie animation project / series done by Kennedy Freeman. She is the creator and director of this project. She is also a animator, and she also started and founded Love Letter Studios, and they have multiple anime credits, which is insane. This series is amazing. You guys will like it. The art style is so nice. It's great. I'm going to insert links here. Here's just look at that. Look at that. Look how clean that is. Also, did I mention that I play the main character's best friend? And the main character is also voiced by Lakyra Porter, and I will drop the link to her YouTube below because she just started her channel and she's doing freaking great. But yes, if you are interested in this project, we have a backer kit. I will put the link here below. We really would appreciate people checking it out. You guys would so love this series. It's such a passion project for the creator, and there's so much hard work going behind the scenes. It's insane. I promise you guys, it's insane. There's so much detail, so much love put into this, and everything is out of her pocket. Nothing is funded by anything, not the government, not the program. It's just straight and solely out of her pocket. This is a strictly indie animation series. It's so good. It's so good. Like the quality will blow you away. It's blown me away. I still don't believe I'm in this, for crying out loud. And it's a magical girl. Did I mention it's a magical girl thing? It's a magical girl thing. Welcome to another video. I decided to not do a script just so it comes out more naturally spoken. So let's just see how this goes. As some of you may know, I am a voice actor as well as an artist, although I was an artist first. That clacking back there is my child with the lid of his baby bottle. But yeah, I'm a voice actor. I'm also an artist. But yeah. So voice acting I got into in 2020, right during the very beginning of the pandemic. I spent $600 on a class workshop by Chris Rager, who is also the voice actor of these characters which you may know. So I joined one of his workshops because as an artist, I like to do a lot of fan art, and then I would always tag the voice actors because I feel like without them, the characters wouldn't have their voice, they breathe life into them. So it's just I just appreciated them more. So I thought this would be a fun course to take. The $600 was a reckless decision based off a event in my life, but for the better. So I took this workshop. It was great. It was amazing. Freaking the voice actor for Aizawa, Chris Wakamp, was there. He was a guest. Freaking Josh Martin was there. He voices Boo in Dragon Ball and so many other characters as well. And apparently he was also the Barney that went live, that was on the live tour, the Barney live tour with the tail that caught on fire. He was in that suit. That was him. So after that class, actually we all got auditions to voice in a video game called Smite. And since I just started, I didn't expect anything, but I auditioned anyways for fun. But we also did a practice dub for a scene in Fairy Tail, and just to know what the process is for dubbing an anime, because it's a lot different. And I got to be Froppy. And actually a few people in that class are in anime right now. Like one of the students there that took that same workshop as me is Brent Mukai, and he's in freaking Demon Slayer as one of the lower demons. I'm like, okay. But if I remember right, he got his start on Nickelodeon on the spin-off series for The Loud House. I forget what character it was, but it was a huge dude. So that started off my journey in voice acting 2020, and it is now 2025. I'm getting really close to the 5-year mark. And then recently I finally got a demo reel, which is also fun. Now, to stay on topic, the video is about the pros and cons of being a voice actor. And I decided to compile a lot of information from a lot of my friends and also Google, because Google actually makes sense. With the list that they have, I agree with the majority of it. Pros: you get to work from home, which is also an opportunity, but a lot of studios would have, fly you out and would also prefer to be, having you in person so they can direct you in person and all that jazz as an in-studio thing. But recently there was an anime that I think is my dear friend, what's it called? Nokotun? Hold up. It is my dear friend Nokotun. I just looked it up. So that one was actually completely a remote cast. A mutual of mine is in it. He does the deer. And I think a side voice, a dude. I don't remember. But it's a fully remote cast, and it's something they haven't done, really. For the most part, some studios would allow some voice actors to do remote, but others would be in studio and stuff. I guess it also depends if they like your home studio setup and what your audio sounds like, just to see if they can work with it or not. But yes, for the most part, a lot of voice acting is done from home, depending on what you're doing, like audiobooks for sure. Voice actors can and often work from home, which is mostly a desirable thing for a lot of people who are homebodies. And they just feel like it's just easier that way, you don't gotta get dressed and get ready and all that jazz, and then drive like 40 minutes and then like, hey, and then 40 minutes back, and or fly across country. Although it's kind of fun. It's kind of fun. Now, the be your own boss thing, for some reason Google has be your own boss. Voice actors can have more control over their work schedule and pace. Yes and no. So it depends what project you're in and whether they have a deadline or not, because then you really don't have control if there's a deadline and there's a set date for it, or you get live directed with people, because there's certain ways that directors will want you to say things for your characters and such. Yeah, just directors wanting specific things for their characters, especially when they're going a certain way with them and stories and whatnot. They have to act a certain way, react a certain way, say things a certain way, and there's different deliveries that they expect them to be said. Now, learning new things, that is a thing. Voice actors are exposed to new people, ideas, and knowledge, which is true. You end up picking up how other voice actors do certain things, certain techniques in the booth, things to help their voice, things that help them stay in character and such. That's what workshops are. They're given from other voice actors for the most part, and then they teach you what they apply and what they actually do for work. And it's fun because everybody has a different method, different ways, different new teachings, and it's very knowledgeable. Google says use your voice as a pro. Well, that's the whole point of being a voice actor. You're using your voice. Voice actors can use their talents to bring characters and stories to life. This is true. Very much true. There's so many accents, so many voices, so many ranges, so many deliveries that you can do. It's just endless at this point, and it's very fun, very therapeutic in my opinion. Now, learning new things, that is a thing. Voice actors are exposed to new people, ideas, and knowledge, which is true. You end up picking up how other voice actors do certain things, certain techniques in the booth, things to help their voice, things that help them stay in character and such. That's what workshops are. They're given from other voice actors for the most part, and then they teach you what they apply and what they actually do for work. And it's fun because everybody has a different method, different ways, different new teachings, and it's very knowledgeable.
So one of the things that I like about voice acting, I guess you can call it a pro, is the ability to connect to people on a different level. I've met a lot of great people in this field, and it's enabled me to do things that I wouldn't really be able to do without a platform through voiceover. I participated in something called Voice Acting for Palestine, and it was really cool. And I did it twice, and I really am for that. I've done a lot more outside of that, but it allows me to spread a message that is needed to be said, and do things that I wouldn't be able to do without a platform that voiceover has given me. And I guess you can do it in other careers too, but it brings you closer to the fans than for example, live action voiceover, live action acting, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Because it's like in live action, you don't really connect with your fans on a personal level. You got managers and you got agents and you got all this stuff in between. But luckily in voiceover, you kind of control your own everything about you. So like you get to connect on a more spiritual level, and you get to share this information with a much closer audience than before. Anyways, that's been all for me. Back to you.
Yummy, yummy.
And then what else? Another, I guess, flexibility, variety. A single person can do so many voices, and then they can do a variety of characters. And there's so many creative opportunities. Like during COVID, it's just expanded like heavily, and even now there's a lot of digital content, and we're high in demand. Yeah. And because of that, you know, there's a lot of more opportunities and benefits, I guess. If you're union, non-union, union voice actors, they receive benefits like healthcare, life insurance, and retirement. Non-union, you don't. You don't get any of that. Another little tidbit I've just received from Sonic is that voice acting also helps with your singing voice, because you're learning to control your vocal cords when you're doing all these different voices, and so it helps with your range, and you just tend to learn how to sing better than what you thought you could sing. Cons. So cons are there's inconsistent work, because a lot of voice actors, it's just like a one and done thing, or just for this series and then nothing more. Then you have to constantly be looking for work just to make sure you meet ends meet. Wow. Make sure you make ends meet. What the hell? You have to constantly be looking for that next project that is a long-term goal, contract, and then more so on top of that, just to make sure it's a consistent flow of pay. Otherwise, it's just inconsistent work, and it's just really inconsistent unless you're able to like break into the industry, and then you voice a character that a lot of people end up liking, like a main character and whatnot, and then you get recasted, and then you're just able to do full time that way. But it is such a competitive field, and it's very hard to get your foot in, and then there's like a lot of things going on. Like right now on Twitter, a lot of these voice actors, even the big voice actors like Zeno Robinson, the voice actor for Hawks in My Hero Academia, and Alejandro Saab, who does a lot of stuff. He was in Horimiya. He was the main guy. They're openly talking about how especially when Maya Hawk started talking about how they only cast people based off their followers, and apparently that's kind of the case in their area too, but it's complicated. Crap's hitting the fan. And that ties into competition. Voice acting is a competitive field with fast turnaround times, and yes, indeed it is. You can also get vocal fatigue. Voice acting can be physically demanding and lead to vocal fatigue, especially if you're voicing characters that take a toll on your voice, especially the loud ones, or when you have to do high-pitched voices and you have to keep that pitch and make it a consistent pitch throughout a whole series. It's insane. So always take care of your voice. I'm a hypocrite in that I barely drink water. But yeah, taking care of your voice is very important, and if it's a muscle, you gotta work it, exercise it, practice it, consistent, anything consistent, it'll help in the long run. Business management. Voice acting is a service-based business that requires ongoing work to generate income, which brings us back to competition and inconsistent work. These are the cons. Although, oops, I just hit my mic with the phone. Great. It's not a con, but it's a pro. There's a lot of talent agencies that will take you if you show them like your demo reel and like what you're able to do. Then they have you on their roster, and then they'll email you auditions and such. But I learned this from Sonic that a actual agency will not charge you money. Agents are supposed to be like free, and then they get paid based off commission based, don't fall for those scams where you have to pay for auditions. Don't do that. Those were cons that Google had as a list, and I agree with all of them. Yes. Cons that you may personally face. There's people who begin, and then a lot of them will put in their bios like aspiring voice actors, but they're already like doing voices for like people's projects and stuff, and they're doing like comic dubs and fan dubs and stuff. Like, don't call yourselves aspiring. You are.
the second that you make the decision to become a voice actor, you're a voice actor. You don't have to have jobs under your belt yet. The second you make the decision, you're a voice actor. You're not aspiring anymore. You're not dreaming about it in the shower. You made the choice.
Did the mic pick that up? But yeah, exactly what Sonic said. The second you start voicing, you are a voice actor. Do not put aspiring. You are a voice actor. And that's like one of our pet peeves, because it's just like, we see you, we hear you, you're great. Get aspiring out of the bio. And then another con was, and I hear people get it, and I see it all over the internet, and I finally experienced it at my last job that I recently quit, because I kept coming home and making everybody sick, because cleaning hospitals overnight is sucky, and having a baby it's really sad seeing your baby get sick. Anyways, a lot of people online would like to say that, oh, voice actors aren't really voice actors, let me rephrase that. Voice actors aren't really actors. That's what we see all the time. And it's just like, what are you talking about? It's literally acting, but without your whole body or in your face, you know? You're not in front of a camera, you're behind a microphone. You're still acting, you know? Like, you're still emoting, you're still crying, you're still happy, you're doing everything a regular character on camera does, just behind a microphone, you know? How do you think live dubs happen, you know? How like, if I want to watch Avengers and, like, Tony Stark is dying, you know? And people watch it in Spanish, that's voice acting. There's Spanish dub over it, you know? And Sonic made another point that there's voice acting ADR for background characters in actual films that's not translating. It's just like literal English films, and they're like, oh, we need background audio for this, like a crowd or something, right? Is that what you mean? And then they'll put, it's not even actually the people in the background making that noise, it's just a pre-recording of the ambiance. There's a lot of like content that's like overseas, and then they get dubbed in English as also voice acting. The audio description, I have a mutual / friend that he does the audio description for Heart to Heart, like Kevin Hart's thing. And audio description is for people who cannot see but can listen to the TV, and they're describing everything that's happening on the TV. That is also voice acting. Commercials, that is voice acting. Ads, voice acting. Like you know, radio, that is voice acting. There's a lot of things that voice acting is in. It's just everywhere. Now, what I experienced at work was that this coworker was weird. I've never really spoken to him, and apparently my boss said that I was the only one that got a word out of him, because he was surprised that I even got him talking to begin with. But if anybody knows the Vic Mignogna drama, he's pretty predatorial, let's just put it at that. And this coworker, so how do I put this? So I was getting started for my shift, I was getting my stuff ready, and I was just open, because I was allowed to listen to music, so I was listening to the Full Metal Alchemist openings, right? And he responds to the one that I was listening to, I think it was You Again, and he said that was the best opening in the anime. I'm like, really? I like Melissa. And we started talking, right? Because I didn't know he liked anime. He's like, oh, did you know he voiced Broly? I'm like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, but you know, he got blacklisted because all of this happened. And then because you know what happened to Vic Mignogna, he was sued, taken to court, lost, tried to appeal, lost. He lost 3 times in court, right? Like 3 times. And he gaslit me. He was like, no, he won. And he was dead ass. He won. And I was like starting to doubt myself, because this is public information. The court papers is public information. I've investigated it heavily because I looked up to him as an actor, and it was just crazy to see that. I literally spent my whole shift listening to information in podcasts trying to find out if anything changed, and nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. A lot of evidence. A lot of fans came forward about being uncomfortable around him. Then weird things that he said, especially him flashing his crotch in his underwear on a stream. So it's just like, no. I can't defend this, man. You really can't defend this, man. There's so much. Anywho, that's how we started talking. That's how he rubbed me the wrong way. But then he also rubbed me the wrong way because he was like, oh, you're also a voice actor? Because I was telling him that I am. And then he's like, what have you been in? And then I'm just, well, like, I'm starting to do indie stuff. He's like, oh, indie? Oh, you're not a real actor. You're not a real voice actor. That's not real acting. And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? And then, of course, he knows absolutely nothing about it. So he can't really, he's just saying what he thinks he knows. It isn't true. And, you know, especially with the whole standing a predator thing, it's weird. But he essentially was very snobbish and saying how great of an actor he'd be, but he wouldn't do it because Hollywood is so messed up and da 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 da. And I'm just like, okay, buddy, okay. But you know, that's really disheartening for someone to say that I'm not a voice actor when they literally have not seen or heard any of the things that I've been in. So I didn't even bring it up because I'm like, it's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. I'll list things that I've been in the description below if you guys are even interested in seeing such things. I guess the only thing that I've been in that I think a lot of people would recognize is there's this Dragon Ball fan animation by Blues Animation. And I voiced Chilai and Pan. And then Sonic here voiced Broly. Oh, yeah. And she voiced Frieza and became a meme. I'm gonna insert it here because it's just so funny to me.
I'm going to make you grovel at my feet, you insignificant monkey!
And then our friend in there, he voiced Gohan. A lot of people don't know, unfortunately, where this meme came from. It came from this animation, Tweekon. So if y'all want to check out Tweekon, I'll put him down here like a link. But yeah, the cons of voice acting is a lot of people, unless you're appreciative of the animation world, a lot of people will not recognize you in person, which I guess is a con as well. Not a con, a pro as well, depending on how you see it, whether you want the attention or not, whether you want to be recognized for this work or not. But a lot of people will not recognize voice actors as actual actors, so it's really sad. And a lot of them are part of the union, a lot of them are part of SAG-AFTRA, and we're literally actors, you know. It's kind of sad that a lot of people don't even see us as such. The pros and cons of a Midwest princess, of a voice actor. I think that about covers it for the most part, but if any of you have questions or comments or opinions, comment them right below. And even recommendations on what I should talk about next. And yeah, that is it for today. Peace out, Girl Scouts.